It's that look. It's that look right there. That look, like, test me, mother. Yeah.
And then there's a little old lady.
Knives for sale. Subverting expectations.
It's just clearly fan fiction.
But Loki, it wouldn't have been as exciting for the audience.
Finally, a motion picture that asks the age-old question, is there intelligent life in the universe?
You're welcome.
The answer is no.
Boy, do I have a surprise for you.
Greetings and salutations, everyone. I hope everybody's doing well. Welcome to Talk Hard. Tuesday is never the same without you spending some time talking hard with this amazing group of people. How is everybody? Let's start with you, Stone Loki. What's going on, brother?
Doing great. Just finished watching this wonderful movie. Can't wait to talk about it.
Wonderful indeed. Yeah, my life may never be the same. That's at least 87 minutes of my life right there. So we'll get to that. Yeah, Ironcaster, my brother. What is going on? What is going on?
Oh, it is going. I'm just glad we don't have to talk about Halo for a while.
Halo is, yeah. This show makes Halo set design from Halo season 1 set design has officially been one-upped significantly by Mom and Dad Save the World from 1992. So just if people think that Halo is anything beyond that, they're completely smoking crack. This movie has a ton of set design and costuming. It's as absurd as that may be. They spent $14 million on this movie, and it is almost all in set design and costuming, models and stuff like that, in my opinion. But
it is the craziest looking set. I there's so much about this movie I love. I mean, down to the fact we had Jerry Goldsmith doing the soundtrack for it, the score.
Yeah, their music's not bad. Music was solid. There's, like I said, this is Ironcaster sucking up to my film nerdiness side, but also knowing that my story and whatever side is just gonna be like my brain is torn into. But I heard she actually had some laughs today. So SQUEEKA Mouse is here to share. How are you, lady? What's going on?
Doing great. Still laughing over this movie. I confess it pulled me in. I was trying to cook at the same time. Might have burnt a few things, but I thought it was hilarious.
That is great. Look, you know what? I think part of the title quote, need a laugh. Like, if you can't laugh at the absurdity of this, like, even if it's like, it's not like funny. I don't know. It's not like Tremors jokes funny. It's not like actual, like, I don't know, like classic comedy, like Ghostbusters has some line. But there's something about the absurd silliness of this that just, I don't know, warms my heart a little bit. So I had a good time with that part, for sure. So, well, let's say hello to this amazing chat. Great to see everybody here. Heading things off. The Nerporio himself, the Nerporio life form, is here. So I saw this in theaters one summer. Wow, that is crazy. I never saw this before, this experience. So recognize the dad from Beetlejuice. Yeah, that dad is obviously very famous in several movies, but we've talked about Beetlejuice. We've talked about Sleepy Hollow. Obviously, he's done Ferris Bueller, many other things. So yeah, that Jeffrey Jones is indeed, but not an actor you're going to see around much anymore. Yeah. Anyway, so liked it as a 6-year-old. Fair enough. There he is from the Great White North, the head of the wrench, the toolbox himself. So the Great White North, the trail to the triumvirate of talking art. Hail to you, Chris, my friend. Hope you're doing well. And Penny's in the house. Hey, Penny. Hope you're doing well. hang in there. Hope everything is going well. There's that SQUEEKA lady. She's super sweet in here, saying hello to everyone for everyone. Dad Man's in the house. Hey, brother, what's going on? What's going on? So, yeah, good to see you. Good to see everybody here. All right. SQUEEKA, have you seen this before?
No, I had not seen this before.
All right. All right. All right. So that was good. So, first impressions?
I thought it was hilarious. I mean, I thought it was hilarious. I did love the set design, and I like the fact that while the jokes were sometimes kind of base and I guess like middle school, high schoolish, they kept coming. Like just when you thought you'd had enough or you'd seen enough, there's like another joke, another set of gags, and you're like, okay, how many can we fit in one movie?
All right. All right. All right. Loki, this is the film that ended Jon Lovitz's run on Saturday Night Live. Was it worth it?
You know that quote in Spaceballs where Dark Helmet says evil will always triumph because good is dumb? He was talking about this movie. I really believe he was talking about. He knew Spengo. So,
but you have to give Lovitz credit for being fearless. I didn't know Lovitz had this in him. Lovitz to me always seemed kind of, I don't want to say pretentious, but sort of like there's certain things he's like, I'm not doing that. This movie was like, nope, we're going to go all in on all sorts of crazy gags at your expense. That was probably the most impressive element of the thing. The middle school humor was he really does a lot of fearless scenes and things like that.
If they ever did a Final Fantasy VII like live action movie, they need him to play Corneo. Okay, Jon Lovitz is the only one who can play Corneo. For anybody that knows their Final Fantasy stuff, hello, ladies. That guy, the sleazy. Oh, what are you packing under there, Gully? You know, it's got to be him. He'd be perfect. Look at what is it? My Stepmother's an Alien.
Yeah.
When he's going through like all of the women in his wallet, and they're not even like women he knows. It's like the Princess of Monaco and stupid shit like that. And he's like, "Oh, hello there." Mm-hmm. He's just that sleazy. He's that sleazy guy. It doesn't matter what he's in. He's that sleazy guy that's sleazing on the ladies.
And that's what I love about Jon Lovitz this film. It's a chance for him just to kind of play up that, you know, that persona, that character he plays in all this stuff, where he's just the slimy guy you just want to see get smacked. Like he's hamming it up, he's having a blast the entire time, and you just want to see him like chew scenery.
It's done in an absurd way. Like it's an extreme version of, like you said, all of those roles, like Wedding Singer, and I think A League of Their Own is probably another good example, right? Where he's like the slimy guy that recruits the girls. He's like, I'm out, girls. I gotta head back to town and visit the wife, give her a little tickle pickle, and head back out on there. And you're like, what on earth is he talking? Like it's just, it's crass. Like he pulls off crass so well and smooth, and Anyway. Hail to DJ Ronnie G. Says, back from the grips of a fever. Hope you're feeling better, man. I think that's what that means. Yeah, man, that stinks. Hope you're feeling better. You're on the mend, man. And great to see your non-holographic, I'm going to say halographic people. I know what you're going with there, man. Awesome. Thank you. Great to have you with us, man. Awesome.
Only thing good about that joke is I never have to watch this shit ever again.
We are out. There's another T-shirt idea, Chris. Maybe we can figure out how to get it. And this is actually one I think that Loki and I would both actually wear. So we joke about T-shirts. We never usually follow through. But this one, if we have a silhouette of the helmet, and then it just says never again. Just says never again. Done.
Halo, no.
Yeah, just no. Say no to Halo. Just all that. Just pick it. Yeah, I'm out. Done. So, here we are. And... this guy's costumes, it's one of these things where I'm like, he could never have gone back to Saturday Night Live because of how they would have mocked him for the absurdity of all this. So I'm happy that at least some of the roles and films he's had after this actually panned out. He did okay. But the story goes that he was like, I guess there was a delay with production. It was going to overlap with SNL. He was going to miss 2 weeks. Lorne Michaels said, no, you either are here, you're not here. He's like, okay, I'll quit. He was convinced this movie was going to make a ton of money. Needless to say, it lasted for one weekend and it did not make money. It's got like a 12% with the scores or whatever. And I'm kind of in that camp, even though I can appreciate just what is happening with these outfits. And Ironcaster, I know one thing would be up your. These seem like Ironcaster Halloween costumes if I ever saw any. Don't you think, Loki?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I could see this in October.
Look at the hat.
You just roll right up into this and just.
And the changing facial hair, I loved that part too. Like, it wasn't just
mutton chops or goatee. Mutton chops or goatee. Is there a shirt there's got to be a shirt that says mutton chops or goatee? It's just all it says, and that's the inside joke of a movie that very few people have obviously seen. Look at the absurdity of the outfits. It's just, oh yeah. I don't know. This was this movie felt like all bets are off. Like there was really nothing that we wouldn't try to see what would work. And I don't know. Look, Ironcaster, what works for you? What is it about this movie that made you go, you know what? Talk Hard needs to talk about this movie.
Well, I mean, it's effectively a Flash Gordon, but it's a parody.
Okay.
I mean, it's down to like he's gonna go and destroy the earth, but there's one man who can stop him, Jeffrey Jones.
Yeah, I know. This is just okay. I don't know about you guys. So maybe again, hot take or not, SQUEEKA, you can tell me. I thought Jeffrey Jones actually was good in this movie. He actually has to act, and he actually has to become a character that he kind of plays regularly, but there were more extreme physical and stuff like that elements that he doesn't usually get in some of the other movies, even though he's basically just playing a similar character to Beetlejuice or what have you. I don't know. What are your thoughts on Jeffrey Jones?
Well, I've only seen Beetlejuice. I'm not sure what other movies he's been in, but I feel like this was, while there was still that kind of, what's the word for it, where he's kind of like, I'm just kind of a nobody, like I'm just kind of not really paying attention to things, kind of guy, like whatever kind of mentality. I do like the fact that towards the end of the movie, like he starts getting on board with, wow, this is really kind of dumb. And on top of that, he kind of finds himself like, oh, I do, like there's one scene where he's like, well, I don't dance, and then he dances, and then he tries the food. So I feel like he didn't just play the same role throughout the movie. I feel like it did evolve a little, which I don't feel like it evolved much in Beetlejuice, if I remember it right.
No, it's like he has sort of like this character that he does play in a lot of movies, especially like the non-serious roles, like even Sleepy Hollow. It's obviously just a very stoic type of role for him, things like that. But as far as the comedic elements, I think Ferris Bueller was a little bit different because Ferris Bueller is like the principal, right? So it's different. But this is the normal Jeffrey Jones role. He just kind of walks through life. He's mumbling, bumbling, silly thing. But in this one, he actually has a couple moments. Let me contrast that, Loki, with what you think. I thought Teri Garr. Sorry, I love Teri Garr. I thought she was horrible in this movie. I thought Teri Garr was probably one of the worst elements in this movie. I don't know what happened. I don't know. She is so good in Mr. Mom. She is so good in Young Frankenstein. There's other roles, but I thought in this one, yeah, didn't work for me.
Well, imagine being in this movie. She is a well-respected actress. That, I mean, she's in a movie that's basically like one big joke. How serious can she take it? Yeah, she's getting a paycheck, but I mean, if my agent got me this movie and I walked in and I saw Jon Lovitz dressed like that, and they wanted me to wear a cat meow shirt with a pink pocket pouch up front, and
she's talking to fish and stuff, trying to have this serious conversation with the fish, and you're like, what is it? And I got to be honest, there's part of me, Ironcaster, sell me on the fish and the dog concept. Like, what in the world? Why did this seem funny? Like, they didn't make them aliens. I'm still to this day, I'm like, was there? I feel like there was maybe Miss SQUEEKA, you might know. Is there a middle school full of like props of dog and fish heads, and that's how they got there? Because it just seemed like it's so strange. Oh wait, sorry, we have that birds too, because the rebels have birds. So there's the girls are fish, the boys are dogs, the rebels are birds. What is happening? It's so strange.
It's just a planet full of idiots. Things there don't have to make sense, which is unfortunate because it's a lot of really stupid jokes that they try to work in. Like, I mean, like you're saying, the rebels all like go in their stealth. They try to wear these giant bird heads to try to blend in because they'll never expect to see birds, but there are no birds this big.
Yeah, Jeffrey Jones has one line about the birds aren't this big. Why did it work? Yeah, good point. Jeffrey Jones, Pat says. Hey, Pat. Jeffrey Jones is great. Just keep an eye on him. Just saying. Yeah, everybody should keep an eye on him. It's sad. It's true. So. Yeah.
I mean, I confess, I don't know where the dogs and the fish came from either. That was one of those moments where I'm like, wait, what happened here? Oh, because we got the talking rat in the jail cell.
Yeah, that was. But the talking rat in like the sewers and jail. So like, okay, well, they're gonna have talking rats. Okay. That was weird, but then there's like a whole plethora of talking dogs and fish. That's like the genders of females and but there's humans running around. I don't know. Everything about this is, I guess, parody, but it's even a weird parody for the sake of parody's sake. Anyway,
you know, there were a few moments that I felt really worked for me, like, oh, the mom's got to take her own coffee maker with her on vacation because hers is gonna be better because she bought it from the luggage store.
That was a weird joke that doesn't, like, she packs the whole house joke. I don't know. Loki, translate the whole. They packed the whole house luggage joke and the coffee maker, and I left the iron in, and just it was a joke that they just kept trying and it never landed for me.
Well, that's what moms did in the 80s and the 90s. They overpacked the car. You don't remember that?
I can go on a vacation.
I remember. Okay, so think about it like this. We went vacation to California. Yeah, I know, right? For us. I was 11, maybe 12. I don't remember how old I was. I had a suitcase. My dad had a suitcase and a bag with, like, shaver and shit like that. The rest of that van was filled with my mother's shit, and she had bags on top of the van too. This is an Aerostar van. It's a pretty nice sized van. The back seats were taken out. So you had 2 seats up front, 1 bench behind those 2 seats. The rest was open space, and we could not fit everything in the car. There was shit that had to ride on top because she brought that much stuff for a 2-week vacation. Okay. I had 1 suitcase. My dad had 1 suitcase. He had 1 like toiletry bag, and then the rest was my mother's shit. That's a lot of stuff. Why do you need that much stuff? Why are you taking the coffee pot, which she did? My mother did that. Anywhere they went, she had her coffee pot because other coffee pots didn't make coffee like her coffee pot.
Okay. And she took her own coffee too.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Coffee, creamer, all that. There were boxes of stuff for the whole time while they were on their trip.
Yeah. This is just how I imagine Pops.
No, yeah. Not at all. I mean, so it's I mean, this is another thing why the joke doesn't land is Mrs. Pops is like the queen of efficiency. Like, she knows, like, she'll research to know we end up staying in a place if it has continental breakfast or not. What do they have in the room? Do they have a fridge? So she kind of like plans the idiosyncrasies to know how we're going to navigate around some things. Because we were like literally like, even we were traveling to Orlando pretty regularly. It was like 1 bag her, 1 bag mine, her makeup bag, and maybe a toiletry bag, and that was kind of it. There was like, we took a little sedan. The idea that you pack, I don't know, maybe I just didn't go on enough trips when I was little. But I felt like they just kind of tried different angles with it. But it is absurd, and I will say I enjoyed the absurdity of it. And I think this was a funnier gag. Did you, Ronnie G's point out, man, I wish I had the space RV to take pictures of Saturn, which was great. Because as they're flying through in the family truckster, she's like pulling out her camera, hey, pose with Saturn. And it was like, okay, that was a kind of a funny shtick. And then later, because nothing actually comes of any of that. And then at the very end of the movie, there's a little bit of callback to that where she's showing photos, and she has the photos with the fish and the dogs, and it's like, okay, that actually played out. I thought that was actually not bad.
Oh yeah, because well, I mean, it's like it starts off at the very beginning of the movie that the guys show off their photos of like their trip to Mexico for like a weekend,
right?
And then here's Jeffrey Jones kind of complaining the entire time, like, oh, I hate it. I'm not getting in the water. No, I'm not with the sharks, and he's very much just he doesn't want to do anything on vacation.
Yeah, he is a total curmudgeon headed into the vacation. It forces him into a hero arc, which is actually kind of like one of the points of the story. But hello to lovely Sherry. Great to see you. Hope you're doing well. I saw some of your stuff on Twitter, so very proud of you and how far you've come. So yeah, do it. And speaking of people making milestones, Mike, the Comic Relief Crusader, dropping that 1,000 sub mark, crossing that border, man. Congratulations to you, my friend. Thank you so much. Yeah, great advice. Yeah, okay, yeah, man, listen, you did the work. You did putting in the video after video, talking the stories, doing your thing. So listen, if I could ever help, I'd be more than happy to give you, whatever 2 cents of thoughts I have. So
keep it up, brother.
Yeah, man, you just keep turning it away, man. Just keep doing your thing. So that's great. Dadman's got to head out. Good luck to you, man. Have a good time. Take care. Talk to you soon. Let's see here. Just happy right now. Yeah, man. Listen, I get it. It's just, yeah, you're not taking away at all, man. You got to do it. Yeah, do it. Let's celebrate.
Congrats.
Man. Yeah. There we
I
go.
probably could.
Yeah. Mom's trim. Yeah. All right. And GR is here as well. Hey there. Sounds like my mom. Yeah. Yeah. My mom brought her own brand of toilet paper. Well, I totally get that. I get. So,
well, I have friends that still do that.
Yeah, because TP would be the one thing where, yeah, that would be. I get that. I get that. All right, Pat has another one here. As a child of the 80s, not only didn't wear a seatbelt, got to lay down on the shelf next to the back window to sun myself. Oh, okay. Yeah, we used to play in the back of the family truckster. Yeah. So,
did any of you guys ever get known as that family while you're on vacation?
Oh, no. You were that family. Huh?
Oh, we were that family. Oh, yeah. The maids came once in 2 weeks and said, here's 14 towels, and took off. Every time we went out by the pool, all the parents were like, honey, get the kids. There's that family. Gone.
Oh, this picture. Dear Lord.
They see you guys coming. They're like, oh, it's them.
It's them. That's right.
Interesting.
I mean, we fast forward to Loki today.
This was a great shot and a great scene, by the way. I like that clip, that MP4 of like him, because he has this comment about it. It's just there's a great line in there. But I was sort of shocked by this sort of like almost like Death from Bill and Ted. Like it was just like, whoa, what happened? It's like, holy cow. So yeah. Yeah, like I said, the fearlessness of Jon Lovitz in this. So yeah. And yeah, Mike's throwing some love your way, Loki, as well. And GR's laughing out loud at us. Yeah, Lovitz. It's so zany. Yeah. Ironcaster, how many times have you watched this movie? Like, where does this rank on the Ironcaster meter of life?
So this was one I first watched maybe 5-6 years ago when it was still HBO Go. And I was kind of flipping through randomly. I'm like, this movie sounds dumb. I need to check this out. And so I go back to it every couple of years or so. Especially now that like I just kind of happen to find it on YouTube. I can easily throw this on. And at only 80 minutes, it's an easy fit in.
SQUEEKA, where's it land for you now? Rewatchability. Are you ready to like pull out the youngin and say, listen, we're gonna have some pun time?
Oh, I'm totally subjecting all my friends to this. This is definitely on the hey guys, we're gonna watch this movie and y'all can't go anywhere list. But Loki, I have a friend of mine that loves these kind of movies, like the old Super Mario movie, and like they love these kinds of crazy kind of movies.
Go back to the
I love this scene with the corset.
Before we get to the corset, Loki, did you make Eris watch this movie?
No. Fortunately, I did not.
Okay. I'm sure you'd hear about it.
I there's no way I couldn't have, because there would have been yelling and screaming probably from the whole movie of what the hell am I watching and why am I watching it?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. This was rough. I They came out with the heads on, and I thought to myself, okay, I'm so confused. Why do we have fish, dogs, and now we have... At least they make a joke about the bird heads, and I get that. So that was actually kind of funny.
Well,
and then, of course, Kathy Ireland is one of them. And all of the women in the Rebels are like smoking hot women. Like all of them were smoking hot. Jeffrey Jones is like, you know what? Screw the wife. I'm going to live with the Rebels. I mean, no offense, Teri Garr, but holy cow. All of the women are models. None of this is by chance. Lovitz. Yeah.
Isn't it obvious? They're supposed to be the Birdmen from Flash Gordon.
Yeah, I get it. I get the parody. It was just
Fly, Hawkman.
Yeah, it's so far removed from Flash Gordon.
Gordon's alive.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead. Get to the corset because SQUEEKA can just go because this had to be. Yeah, this was just the absurd level on this goes to like 12. It's just completely insane. He's no shirt. And here's the best part of the scene. If you've never seen this movie, just watch this. Well, there's a couple scenes. This is one of them. So they're trying to get the corset on, and it's actually much lower. He's having to pull tighter. When they pull tight enough, it actually tightens, and then his nipples are like you can't see his nipples till. And it's like it's so insane. And like I said, I can't believe he did this. And this is before you got to the "I'm fat" scene, which is again absurdity levels. Where it was. He was trying to make us uncomfortable, and I don't know about Loki, but I felt pretty uncomfortable. I was like, "Oh dear Lord, what am I watching?"
But at the same time, we keep getting the best costumes out of him the whole time. Like especially his Elvis look.
Yes.
Yeah, mutton chops or goatee. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, and even the dogs and the fish had the best costumes too. Like, I mean, everybody was like, it was just so crazy and over the top, extremely over the top.
And again, with the hair, remember he has these like busts of himself that are like they're the wig holders and stuff. It's so crazy. I was like, what is happening? And then I realized what was. Yeah, I was nuts. I couldn't believe it. So, yeah, the dogs. I will say this about the fish and the dog. They're really detailed in their little models. I don't know who is in these outfits. I don't know. This is a movie. I don't know. We'll have to get there. We'll get there at some point. This is mutton chops versus goatee. This is a clip that I had seen. So this is probably the only scene in the movie that I had to go on before I watched it today. So yeah, it's okay. It's okay. And then it goes to the twins because the twins are famous from Terminator, right? Among other movies, but the twins are the famous twin actors, and they basically play idiots. Which, by the way, the other MP4 clip, which would be great, is from the very beginning of the movie when they introduced the twins, and Eric Idle is doing the voiceover about a planet of idiots. I was like, "Here's the planet," and they're there. I love the twins. They're the only thing that's sad is they actually don't survive the shot to the head, shoot yourself in the head joke, and I'm like, oh, I wish they had just been incompetent at that too. I mean, to me, that was like some sort of they blew their hair off or something instead because they were incompetent at that as well. But
isn't it funny how like they had like a moment. It was like everybody used them because they didn't have to like double screen if you want two guys that look exactly the same. Right. They were the go-to for a while. They were in Good Morning Vietnam. They were in Terminator, like you said. It's like everything, you saw them and then poof, they were gone. Almost like Hollywood forgot about them.
Yeah, I don't know what the shtick is there. I also don't know much about his name. This guy's got a crazy name. His birth name was Jack Crowder. His name is Thalmus Rascala. Anyway, I don't know. He's a black exploitation. He done soaps, and I was like, I'm confused. I don't know this guy. He actually shows up to be very serious in this movie as General Afir. Yeah, it was crazy. So
he's got that crazy Wolverine hair.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
I could have seen Samuel L. Jackson in this role.
Sure.
Before he was anybody, when he was still doing little roles like the homeless guy at McDonald's trying to rob Eddie Murphy.
Right. Yeah.
Doink.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get some lowdown on the twins.
How
but
did
I'm not-
how did anybody take anybody seriously in this movie? Is my question. Like, I would have been laughing the entire time on set. How many times did they have to cut? Like, just because costumes or what people were saying or something.
Yeah, I mean, I guess this goes a little bit back to what Loki was saying too with Teri Garr. Like, I don't know. Maybe because everything else is sort of over this scene. Oh dear Lord, you had to pause this. Oh God, I was so icked out in this scene. Oh dear Lord, I was like, Ironcaster, what on earth? And he's like, you're welcome. And I'm like, oh God, oh dear Lord, oh, it was so gross. And I'm like, and you know, Lovitz, if you got to interview Lovitz, you'd be like, you got to feel up Teri Garr, man. I'm like, he's like, yeah, I did. You know what I mean?
What?
He's just so, yeah. Ugh.
You mean to tell me that like the man who has giant statue of himself saying he equals wisdom, he equals love, isn't going to be full of himself?
I know he's full. I mean, we get the gag, but it's just like it goes even worse. Like, just it was so ick. It was good, but this is the beauty of the film. It's like I'm gonna make everyone feel very, very, very uncomfortable
And dumb. And dumb.
Yes.
It's idiocracy before
He's-
idiocracy was conceived. Like this is like idiocracy. It's like a precursor to idiocracy. This is like this could be in the same universe as idiocracy. It's just a prequel. Like it's a prequel to idiocracy.
You know, if we
That's the
were
thing,
if
though.
we were
He's-
in Go ahead.
Oh, I was like, he's just a kind of an average kind of oaf on a planet of idiots, and he conquered it.
Yeah. I assume this is the Lamos, whatever his name is, General of Fear. The romance is real. Oh. And Jon Lovitz is a chick magnet. Oh, brothers. Yeah. I don't know. Oh,
You know,
God.
if we were working on this, I can see Pops coming up to me going, Loki, did your check clear? Yeah. Yours? Yeah. All right. I guess we got to do this.
Yes.
And there's no excuses.
We would go back to one of those stills with like it would be like the guards in those costumes that are just absolutely atrocious, and that would be us. We'd well, not the twins. They'd be special, but it would be like it was like the cheesy guards. That'd be Loki and I'd be like, yeah, the check cleared, huh? Yeah, you know, I know. I keep showing up too. Hey, listen, I got this.
I feel like I'm guard number 7.
I got this line on some casting on Days of Our Lives on Thursday. Yeah. Carpool.
Yeah.
It
Carpool.
would be us talking from the back because this is saying like, did you see Lovitz? Did you see what he has on underneath there? It's like, oh dear Lord, no! Tell me no. So I gotta keep a straight face. Gotta keep a straight face. Gotta keep a straight face. Oh my gosh, yeah.
Oh no, he's in the garter belts.
This scene, yeah, I don't know. What the only way to talk about this movie again would be to like do like the 10 cringiest moments or the crazy something like that. Like it just because it's just I don't know. I can make a case for we can't do this scene justice without showing you guys them trying to pull this corset around him, and then of course the kiss. Oh yeah, just oh man, yeah. What do you think, Ironcaster? Is a prequel to Idiocracy? Because could this be in the Idiocracy universe? Because in a way, I feel like Idiocracy doesn't come along for what? Probably about 10 years, maybe or so.
Yeah, I think you're about right. But this could be like they could use this to tie in and say like, oh no, they were just from another planet. They used that giant like Wile E. Coyote magnet to bounce to another planet, and then we got Idiocracy.
Maybe. Yeah, it's so. Oh dear Lord, yeah, I'm still sort of reeling the fact that we actually watched this movie. I don't know. So at least SQUEEKA laughed. I got to be honest. The best joy I've had all day was hearing SQUEEKA go. I had a good time laughing. Made me smile and laugh while I was cooking and stuff. So
Sometimes that's all that matters.
yeah.
I love the part with the light bomb.
Oh, the light bomb. Okay, so explain the light bomb to everybody in the chat or at home.
It's just a bomb that you pick it up and I guess it lasers you, evaporates you, you go away. It's a big light explosion, and the guy's like, "Well, how are you going to get them to pick it up? I mean, if they know what this is, they're not going to pick it up." And it says, please pick me up. And they do it. Like they do it. They all go and pick it up. It's just, I never saw that coming. And then the pile of clothes, like, yes.
The gag actually, the setup for the gag, you're like, this is just so stupid. And then when they execute the gag, and the first couple of times you're like, oh, well, guys, it's one of those light grenades. Don't go near there. Go, what are you talking about, sir? The light grenade, this thing. He picks it up, and of course it vaporizes him, and he's dead. He's like, holy cow. The light grenade's over there. It killed Charlie or whatever. It's like, what? He went over there. This thing right here, and he picks it up and he vapors. So actually, the execution of the gag made this actually okay. Yeah, it made me kind of chuckle a little bit. Yeah, maybe kind of chuckle.
And I like that they put it on purpose on that little thing that said "Earthman's bed, do not touch," so they would be drawn to it. And everybody puts it right back where it was.
Well, it just keeps falling to the same spot because they all keep going over to it. And the second to the last guy goes, I think we're going to need some backup. Yeah. So, yeah. Elvis Lovitz.
I did not see that working at all, and it did.
Yeah, it did actually work. Elvis Lovitz, yeah. Mutton chops or a goatee, yeah. And Lovitz the critic, yeah. Clown World stuff. Dwayne, hey, brother. Good to see you.
But I feel like all of the weapons were that funny. Like, well, we've got this weapon here, and it's like the Earth guy is like, Dick is his name, but he's like, it's a rock, and he's like, well, we're gonna just throw it. Like the way they explained the rebels explained their weapons. I loved it. The whole setup.
Yeah, they did a good job on some of that kind of stuff. Again, just the absurdity and the silliness. This is their Trojan horse. It's supposed to be a statue of Lovitz, and they're bad at that too. And it's just like fat Lovitz. So even Lovitz is like, I don't look like that, do I? And that it's kind of a gag. And then it kind of goes on to, we got to bring it in anyway and whatever. So,
yeah. So the whole premise is they're going to sneak back into the wedding before Jon Lovitz goes and marries Teri Garr. Because once the wedding is done, he's going to blow up Earth because he's jealous of how big Earth is, because he's got this little dinky planet.
Yeah.
So they're going to go sneak in, and he's like, "Oh, we're going to do the whole Trojan horse thing." And they're like, good. You made it up right. Yes, we sealed all the entrances.
So now they're trapped inside the statue because the dummy. So I mean, I have to admit, I don't think I laughed at that, but I was caught off guard. I didn't see that level of stupidity coming. That's literally, they outsmarted me with their stupid jokes. So yeah, that's how I felt. So yes, it is sort of a fat Easter Island head gag. Yeah, a little bit.
Because Jon Lovitz, even like in the movie, he's like, my head isn't that big. Oh, bring it in.
Bring it in anyway.
He's like, let's show everybody how big my head is.
Show everybody how I'm not that fat. Yeah. Pat says it's not that great, but at least it ain't Halo season 2. Yeah, it's different. So I think that the beauty of this, Pat, and I think we all agreed. Well, I didn't have a frame of reference. I didn't think I asked this question. Let's come back to Pat. Loki, had you seen this before?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I saw this on VHS right after it, came to our local video store rental place. I can't remember. I think it was like called GNR Video at the time. I don't think we had a Blockbuster or anything like that yet, but I can't be sure. But yeah, we got it at the video rental store, watched it once, and then I didn't see it again until it came out on cable. I think it was on Showtime or HBO or one of those where it'd be on, half the time because they were pushing it. Because it didn't make shit.
No, they got some sort of licensing with HBO, I think, and it just ran on replay forever. So yeah, no, I think that Pat, you're hitting the nail on the head a little bit. I think we, the boys agreed to this film for sure, and I was like, I was along for the laugh. Let's just have a laugh. And SQUEEKA laughed. SQUEEKA had a good time with it too. So I'm like, all right, well then, SQUEEKA's in. Let's do it. This cutaway to the absurd robes and stuff. That kind of made me smile too. Oh
my god! And the makeup, the cheeks, their little rosy cheeks, the way they did the women's blush, and then the guy up at the top with his goatee, and the hair on the bottom. Like I loved this.
Yeah, there's a couple goatees and stuff. Yeah, this is the outfit for the priest, and I'm like, all right. I don't know how much.
All the Who's down in Whoville.
Yeah, a lot of cocaine maybe on set for this show. I don't know. This is. Oh, that's not a planet, a little planet. That's a space station. So, Mike, if you just the absurdity. I mean, imagine the permission and the checks of just pretty much anything stupid you could come up with, and as long as it didn't cost them more money, because all the money had to be spent on the set. This is nuts. It's completely insane because everything is practical, and then there's some models for a couple of shots, things like that. So I don't know. This is a dollar cinema movie, y'all. Yeah, I don't know. I've never seen it, and I'm not a massive Lovitz guy, but I have to admit, this is right up his alley. This is gold for him for sure. So, let's see. We're all right. What should we? How do we kind of navigate? Is there any like other plot points to even discuss? I mean, obviously, it's like Austin Powers. I got a big laser. Oh, Wallace Shawn. Oh, okay. So here's if I had a critique, why did Wallace Shawn not be shown like in some sort of weird drawers or something? Because he was going to take his costume off, his uniform off, to give to Jeffrey Jones, who is at least 8 to 10 inches taller than Wallace Shawn. And then Jeffrey Jones is wearing the uniform, but it's obviously too small. So Jeffrey Jones is spilling out everywhere. But we didn't have a shot of Wallace Shawn in some sort of like, what do they wear underneath there kind of absurdity, which is what I expected.
It should have been some like, pajamas with the butt flap.
Maybe, I don't know what kind of absurdity. I got to be honest, it almost seems like it would have been, we had fish and dog and birds. It would almost, I think it'd be more like bear fur or something. It'd be some sort of like something, another absurd animal reference that doesn't make any sense, like giraffe or something, just something so ridiculous. Yeah.
Yes, a giraffe print. There we go.
Yeah,
That's what we need.
Something like that. Leopard, maybe something like would imply sexual innuendo with like a, leopard tiger prince. Oh yeah, because he ends up with Kathy Ireland. Oh dear Lord.
Yeah,
I laughed so much.
The daughter of the king.
Yeah, she's the princess. But it's. I'm sorry, I was so distracted by those shots. They're dopes talking about rocks and whatever, and like all these women are just like smoking hot models everywhere, including Kathy Ireland. And I'm like, what is happening in this movie? Oh my gosh, dear Lord. Oh, so, yeah.
It's another genre they get to tap into. So they get all the people from the gore universe and all these, sword and sorcery. Oh, the man was dropped into a world of sword and sorcery. They get that too, along with the sci-fi kick. So basically this is like one of those, not another teen movie or whatever the hell they do, where they just take a whole bunch of genres, mismatch them, and make fun of them. It's pretty much what they did, because you've got all these movies. You've got movies like Beastman and Gore or Sword and Sorcerer, where the guy comes in from another universe and the hot priestess chick is the one he needs to save from the evil tyrannical emperor Todd. And there you go. You got your lowdown on another genre of that you're making fun of.
Yeah.
And that's our hero. Yay.
Mm-hmm.
Good as dumb, ladies and gentlemen.
It's good as dumb. Yeah. Yeah, that was the hair on the priest, the Munchkin's hair. Yeah, they have Yahtzee faces and Munchkin hair and lots of blush. Just
there was a little moment here where the two of them clash swords for the first time, and they both have to stop. Like, ow! Like
yeah. There's an inconceivable reference, obviously, for Wallace Shawn. Totally get that. So yeah. This movie. I'm still sort of like reeling from the. I'm sorry, Loki will probably disagree with me. I thought it was worse than Ice Pirates. I don't know. Yeah, it's, oh dear Lord, it's just like he's allowed. But see, he's allowed to overact. It makes sense and it works, and it shouldn't work, but it does. And it's like, oh my gosh, this movie. So yeah. Favorite parts? Should we do favorite parts? Favorite parts, SQUEEKA?
Oh, that's tough. Oh man. Oh man. I have to pick one favorite part.
I don't know if I can pick
I
one.
mean-
It's tricky, isn't it?
Because like I would get to a point like there's the part where she's serving coffee to the fish girls and they're talking and I don't understand how they're talking, but she's giving them marriage counseling. I'm like,
Oh,
okay.
that's right. That's right. Yeah. Yeah.
But then it like rolls over to like the scene where he's getting dressed and he's wearing a corset. I'm like, I didn't see that coming. And then there was the statue, but like there's just it just kept coming at you. Like it's just like, okay, that was funny. I got through that. Let's do some. Nope, we're gonna do some more craziness. And then
Yeah, this
there's
is them together, fish and dogs together, happy together, and you're like, what is happening? Like, hey.
and then it wraps
Mass
up.
hysteria.
And you go to the end and you see the little slideshow of all of her pictures and you're like, oh, here we go again.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, one of the things that did get me laughing more than it probably should have was the light bomb thing, only because I didn't see it working. Like that whole, it's like, how long are they going to milk this for real?
They did pretty good at not overdoing it, right? They gave us 3 or 4, and then they cut away, and there's like a
Right.
whole pile of things, and there's like one more gag, and then they cut away. So I liked all that. Yeah, the light bomb would probably be a close one for me. I think I know it sounds almost too cliche, but it's like so early in the movie with the narration, and it's like it's a planet of idiots, and I'm the smartest among them, and I'm an idiot. And then they like walk into the pipe, and it's like, I told you we were idiots, and it was like it was clever enough that I actually liked that one. So anyway, yeah. You have a favorite part, Ironcaster?
I think it's probably got to be the light grenade. That's the part for all the years since I've seen this movie that is always stuck with me. Just this is the dumbest weapon ever, and yet it takes out an entire like squadron of soldiers. Just this one.
Pick me up, and it works, and they make it actually work in the story, which is actually kind of funny. It makes me kind of want to put light grenade in a story. Like, what movies could we get light grenade in? It would make sense. Oh man, could you imagine that in Ready Player One? How funny that would have been to have a light grenade joke. Oh my gosh, it would have been great. Anyway, Loki, do you have a favorite part?
You know what? You'd almost expect this to be like a Mel Brooks movie, except it's not as good as a Mel Brooks movie.
Right.
But just the stupidity, the all-around stupidity and dumbness, I think go to make the movie still watchable today. If they hadn't have gone in as hard as they can on all of these people were dumb, I don't think it'd hold up today. I really don't. So I guess my favorite part of the movie is the endearing stupidity of the movie itself.
Well, the other thing that also comes to mind, and I think I gotta cut this out, is the mutton chop scene.
Yeah, that was pretty good. Like I said, that was a scene that mutton chops was so good with the twins. Yeah, the idiots in the beginning. The corset and the kiss rank up there because I can acknowledge the comedic power of that type of cringe, like making you feel uncomfortable. Like, I didn't need to see Jon Lovitz's nipples in his chest, and I didn't need to see whatever it was he did to Teri Garr. Dear Lord, oh God, yeah, yeah.
Pops the entire time.
I think I was like this most of the time. Like, oh dear Lord. I think I was face palmed, but I wasn't like not watching. I was just like, oh God, dear Lord. I didn't pause as much as you might think I did. I think I had 3 pauses. I got through a pretty big chunk, and I actually was shocked at how fast the movie, because it's only 87 minutes, I think it is. So it was like a lot of that actually moves pretty fast. So it wasn't like a tedious movie or anything like that. I actually kind of have to admit, the pacing of this seemed like it was less painful than Ice Pirates. Ice Pirates was rough to get through. I know, Loki, I won't ever make you sit through something like that again. At least I didn't think I would, but here we are watching Mom and Dad save the world. Yeah. So
I blame you, Pops.
he picked it.
It's all your fault.
Ironcaster picked this one. And you didn't say no, so I mean, you didn't even go like,
no,
oh,
I'd seen this before.
Pops, have you
and-
seen this? Like, it's pretty rough. And no, we need to bring SQUEEKA back for sure. SQUEEKA, I don't know if we can get you to come back regularly or not. We're trying. The contracts are negotiated. We got to figure out how to sign the checks or something. We got to figure out how to get Lovitz's payroll.
Do I get chops or goatee?
I would. Chris Persia, can we take that avatar that she has, the cute SQUEEKA, and can we do a goatee and a mutton chop one? Like do a version of SQUEEKA with that? Because that'd be great for next week. Next week she comes back with. We need to bring you back in July for the annual Ironcaster gets to pick a shark movie, because it happens like once, and then we're like, oh dear Lord. So that will be a treat.
I haven't seen a shark movie. I read Jaws, but I've never watched it. I've not seen any shark movie.
I think we're going to do Jaws this year, so that would be even better. You could do a good movie like Jaws, but Ironcaster goes to Tubi where they're free, and they are bad, and they are so bad they are among the movies I've never finished. That's how bad some of them are.
Oh my!
Yeah, they're bad. They're bad. So, GR says Ice Pirates was fun in theater. The whole audience was laughing all the way through it. No, I can get that you can have a good time. Like, so I have a hot take. Super hot take in this sort of category of stupid and fun just for laughs. I am no fan of Rocky Horror Picture Show. None. I don't like it. However, going to an event that's one of the unbridled, everyone's in costume, throwing toilet paper, knows all the lines, that experience is a blast. So, you know what I mean? So I can admit Ice Pirates was hot garbage and I didn't like it. And at the same time, I'm like, yeah, but I went to the right kind of show, might have a good time with it. Man, Mom and Dad Save the World could just be absurd. And I will say this about this. This is completely clean. I mean, the raciest joke in the entire thing is the fact that they keep referring to the character as Earth Dick. That's because his name is Richard, is Dick from Earth, and they just keep making that joke a couple of times. That would probably be the closest thing to a racy joke, really, for my grandkids to hear, but I don't think it would click enough for them to be in the car with Mrs. Pops talking about Earth Dick. I don't think that would work, but I think I'd be safe. Ice Pirates, the no goes a little too far. Ice Pirates has some stuff I couldn't trust the grandkids to not be getting me in trouble about. So I don't know what you think of that assessment, Loki. I think I'd be okay with Mrs. Pops with this one.
Yeah. As long as she likes dumb, stupid people. Yeah.
I don't know if she wants to watch it, but it could just be on. So I told her how bad it was. I wasn't even all the way done yet. I think I was like 40 minutes in. I told her how bad it was. I was going to save her from it. And she just kind of nodded at me. So I was like, yeah, she knows it. But I got my physical copy of Wednesday. So she's eager to just watch that again because she likes Wednesday. So
has she watched Shogun yet?
No, we haven't done Shogun yet because we want to wait till we can I think we may have to get a physical copy and subtitles and just be able to watch it all the way through.
Gotcha.
So, yeah, so I'm probably going to wait till the end with her. If she'll watch it, I don't know. I'm down for it. Yeah. Mike, it's on YouTube for free. So I don't know if you guys knew that. Ironcaster said it briefly. Start checking YouTube. YouTube has really added a lot of movies, and they've added a lot of movies with just ads. So, yeah, they're allowing a lot more. I don't understand how that works. I assume you're just not monetizing as long as you don't care. I guess they're allowing some content to go through. I don't know. It's really weird. I've seen a lot of other movies like this that are just like they're there for free. Someone has it. So,
yep.
Yeah. What were you gonna say, Aaron?
Yeah. Oh yeah, no. There's a lot of movies that have even kind of slipped through the cracks. Where even if YouTube hasn't worked out a deal with the studio to put them up, someone might have just gone ahead and thrown up the Super Mario Brothers movie or any of those other films, or heck, you might find it with like a Riff Tracks or the Mystery Science Theater 3000, like the entire episode up on YouTube, where you just turn on. You don't gotta pay a cent. Just watch a silly movie.
Yeah, they don't. See, this is the thing about YouTube, and I've said this before, but I can give you a real specific example. I don't know if I ever talked about it or not. One of the multitude of other channels that I've had, or actually may still even have access to. Don't know, never checked. I had a clip that was up, and it's from an actual film. It's only maybe it's a minute or a minute and a half but it's just a straight clip from a movie. It's illustrating a point, and it was flagged as copyright, but the owner is allowing you to have this up. Like they were like, they didn't care. So it was very strange because it was not claimed, it was monetized, it was whatever, and I'm like, that makes no sense. It seems in total contradiction to all of their rules. But it was just like this little snippet, and I felt like, am I the only one that made this little snip? Anyway, it has, I don't know. I don't get any pennies from it because I'm not, the primary owner of that page or site. But yeah, it's there's weird things that happen on YouTube that I'm not sure any of us can explain. So. I love playing riff tracks with my friend. Yeah, cool. Yeah,
I love riff tracks.
Yeah, riff tracks is the bomb. Yeah, so about the silly. Yeah, I can see that, Mike. Definitely. So, well, SQUEEKA, it sounds like we gave you something fun to watch. You had a good laugh. I mean, our work here could be done.
I mean, I have to confess, I will go back and watch it again. I will.
What? Wait, no, I'm sorry. I was reading Pat. What is this? I do the Notebook the last Tuesday of May. I can't be mad last Tuesday of May. Oh, okay. So I think he misinterpreted our May schedule, but no, we're not doing the Notebook on Talk Hard. No. So I don't know what Pat's doing. Pat distracted me, SQUEEKA. I'm sorry, but I'm glad that we were able to make you laugh and smile.
Have y'all done Kung Fu Hustle yet? Because that's one of my other favorite silly ones. I love that movie. Yes.
The Axe Gang. Yes. So me and a buddy just out of sheer total boredom went to see that in the theater, and I was like, oh my God, I love this movie. So yeah, it's been one of those like I've held on to forever, no matter what it's come out on, whether it's DVD, Blu-ray. I've always gotten the updated version just because, the Axe Gang. Oh, you think you were gonna mess with the Axe Gang? And the caretaker, the landlady. Holy shit, the landlady!
The landlady.
She sucks in that whole cigarette. She's like, and you're like, oh shit, here it comes.
All right. So that's a good choice, and I can tell you another reason why. We'll do this in May for sure. We'll just figure out how to put it in the list because I have not watched Kung Fu Hustle when did it come out? Probably the 90s, right?
Late 90s, early 2000s, something like that.
I have not seen it since then, so I totally am blanking on most of your references. They make sense, and I get them. But
how could you forget that? That music, the Axe Gang music, that'll never go out of my head ever. I will always remember that stupid ass Axe Gang song for the rest of my life. I'll probably be an old man, forget who all you people are, and still be going da na 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 na.
2004, so 20 years. I saw it 20 years ago one time.
And do the little Axe Gang shuffle with the axes where you're like.
So that counts as a SQUEEKA pick. Is that fair? We'll count that as a SQUEEKA pick first. So, but yeah, because we're going through our schedule a little bit, trying to flush out a little bit. We need to add SQUEEKA to our Talk Hard, our conversation thread on Twitter, and just lock her into a long-term contract. I think. So, yeah, I think. Which means that now you're open to being memed and whatever by these crazy people in chat.
Oh, I don't mind. I've been memed. It's okay.
Yeah, they do stuff like this.
Hey, how you doing?
One of the best. Sharkcaster is born. I think I'm out of Sharkcaster stickers. Let's see if I have any stickers left. That's it. I don't know if I sent any to SQUEEKA. I think I probably sent her a pop sticker maybe, but I don't think I sent a Sharkcaster sticker. Yeah, I don't have any Sharkcaster stickers.
I do. I have my pop sticker on my work laptop.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, I'm out of stickers. I got to make another order. And I sent Mike the last Loki Zardoz sticker, I think. So
I saw that.
Yeah.
God help him. I'll be around now.
Hey, you'll be there all the time looking back at him and you'll be like, oh, it's so freaking disturbing. It's one of the most unnerving images that I've ever been subject to. So, all right. We'll put Kung Fu Hustle into the hopper and we'll do that. So. What was it like, Loki? Last thoughts on revisiting this movie that you really hadn't seen? I actually kind of implied you hadn't seen it very recently, but having a laugh or two.
Evil will always triumph because good is dumb. Always remember that. That's who made this movie. Is some very dumb people. That I get it. I get where Lovitz is coming from, where he's like, you know what? Screw SNL. This is gonna be big. This is gonna be like Spaceballs big. Everybody's gonna love this. And then nobody gave a shit about it. Nobody wants to see it. It didn't even do that well on a home video. So, but the people that do remember it, that love it, will always remember it and love it and pass that down to the next generation, because it's one of those movies they're never going to remake. They're never going to redo this movie. I say that, and then I got to do like the cross, like a nomine patria series, man, because someone will hear me and be like, you know what? Let's remake Mom and Dad Save the World. And they'll do some crazy weird thing where it's Mom and Mom Save the World, or Dad and Dad Save the World, or some stupid shit like that. But, you know, the people that love it aren't ever going to forget about it. So if you love it or you think it's a complete waste of time, or both, doesn't matter.
I think it's more likely that they would make a movie with almost the exact same story. They'd rip off the movie, not knowing they ripped it off. And we're all like, that's this other movie. You know what I'm saying? That's more likely what I think would happen than to actually remake it. But yeah, I get it. It's a love-hate. I get it. I'm not saying I hate it. It's just, it's bad.
No, I'm not saying I hate it either.
So I'm in this category of it just being, it could just be on. It's just stupid. And some of those scenes, like I said, are like, yeah, I'm going to laugh. I'm going to laugh at the absurdity of a comedian that's willing to put themselves out there like that. And it's Lovitz, who I did not expect that from. And the, you know, the twins and Jeffrey, it has some moments that I think that are, yeah, make it so. I don't know, Ironcaster, who have you not subject this movie to? Who's on the list? Who's on the hit list? Have we got another opportunity coming that we should all know and get a good laugh and know that Ironcaster is going to sneak this in on someone else?
Oh, I'm gonna have to subject some friends to this in IRL. You know, people who I assume are gonna let me continue to come by and show them movies after this.
I don't know. I don't know. We're gonna let him pick anytime soon. We have SQUEEKA to pick movies, so we're gonna let her pick some. I think is what's gonna happen.
You don't want SQUEEKA picking movies. She doesn't know any movies.
Well, she picked Kung Fu Hustle. I think that's a good. Everybody got excited about
That's
that.
all I got.
So
I got like Kung Fu Hustle, Bubba Hotep. Like those are the kind of movies I got.
Bubba Hotep, great
I love
pick.
Bubba Hotep. Bubba Hotep's a freaking great movie. That definitely needs to go on the list sometimes when it's appropriate.
So I need to now start convincing SQUEEKA of movies.
Well, we'll see. We've got,
be glad you weren't here. Be glad you weren't here for these stupid sharks on the moon and stupid shit like this that we've had to deal with, SQUEEKA.
Yeah.
Where chainmail armor makes you breathe in space.
Oh, movie.
I
Go
mean,
back.
people breathed in space in a Winnebago or whatever. So I mean, it's plausible.
The family truckster survived.
Okay, SQUEEKA, hear me out. Kung Pao, enter the fist.
No, it's freaking. Don't do it. Just no.
That sounds like Chinese food that's gonna slap you in the face. It's so fresh.
Cocaine shark.
Cocaine shark was just so bad. Like I couldn't believe that. And so if you get a chance, you just go to the channel and put in Talk Hard and just put sharks, and you can see a couple of them and just like, dear Lord, and here Loki, like what in the name of we were freaking Sharks in the Moon just broke us all. That was a rough one. So Sharkcaster was born. Yeah, that's from the beginning. That's from 22. That's 2 years ago. Yeah, that's crazy times, man. Woof. Yeah. But no, this one was a lot more endearing of the stupidity. Did you want to share, Ironcaster, just briefly, the model maker who's sort of like Ironcaster had this video he found, the guy interviewing. He does some of the model work for this movie. He worked on The Family Truckster. And you almost have this uncomfortable laughter of him talking about working on this project, but he's almost like embarrassed, like, yeah, I worked on this other movie and the other guy did the model, but I did the underneath the model. Oh gosh, it's just it. And I feel like he's not laughing at what he's talking about. He's laughing at set stories or the story behind the story. Can you just fast forward? It's actually pretty far. It's almost halfway or so. And he has pictures of the little family truckster. Yeah, there it is. You can see this is what he worked on. Yeah.
station wagon goes out into space.
That's what he worked on right there.
Worked on the station wagon, the actual structural parts of the station wagon for the motion control, and a guy named Jim I can never say his name right. Loja Duduche did the body for that, and then I did all the interior stuff and the underside stuff because we see it go past camera.
Okay, you can stop it there. When I saw this, Loki, I was so ticked off. I was so mad because I saw this and I was like, you know what, Halo and all you other crappy shows, this dude made movable mannequins in the family truckster model for this crappy, this isn't even a B movie. I don't even know what to call this freaking movie. So you know what? All of you that are, that they want us to not be mad at their crappy ass shows. Screw you people. Screw you. Mom and dad Save the World showed you up, and you should be embarrassed of yourself. I couldn't believe it when Ironcaster shared that. That was probably the highlight of my day, to be honest, was that sequence. Like, look at the details, and we can't play a lot of that, guys. I don't want to deal with cutting it out if they copyright flag it or whatever.
We've talked about this when we reviewed multiple movies. I think the first time it got brought up was when we did The Thing, John Carpenter's The Thing.
Yeah.
And the basement, the level of detail that's in the basement. This is what you're getting, guys. You're getting today, you are getting people in either a 180 degree TV wall that shows you stuff that they can't even like recognize. So they don't really know what's going on while it's filming. And then you've got green screen, and they're acting out all of this stuff so that the people that are making the movie can go, we'll fix it in post. Anything that goes wrong, we'll fix it in post. Guess what? The greatest movie makers of all time, and you can argue this list, Spielberg, Cameron, the giants, the giants of filmmaking that have been here for the last 60, 70 years, Ford Coppola, all these guys, they couldn't do that. Okay? There was no, don't worry about it, we'll fix it later. They had to have it, and they had to have it right, and it had to work the first time. The amount of hell the guys who made Aliens, the amount of hell they went through for Cameron, and a lot of them didn't like it. They were constantly pissed off, and he'd buy them like champagne and all kinds of shit at the end of a work week to be like, thank you, I'm sorry I'm such a dick. At least he realized that, thank you, I'm sorry I'm such a dick for the whole week here. Have a little party on me. At least he recognized that. They had to have what they wanted. And the only way to do that was to create it. They had to make it. They had to make what you saw. They had to make it believable. It had to be right. And when you're on a timetable and you're being crunched, which is what a lot of them were, you've got to make this in 8 weeks. I don't care if no ifs, ands, or buts. And you can't go over the money we're going to give you because we're not negotiating more. So this is all you get. They had to figure out how to make it work and how to make it work on that timetable. And if you notice something from Aliens, I think it's Horner. James Horner is the one who does the music for Aliens. He didn't go back and work with Cameron again until Titanic. Why not? Because they effing hated each other. I almost dropped an F-bomb. They hated each other because of what happened with Aliens. Mm-hmm. Nothing worked out right for either of them. Yet that is one of the most iconic scores you're ever going to hear. They use that. They use that score in multiple previews for movies. Anytime there was an action movie, you got that Alien score from James Horner because it was so iconic and it was so great. But it wasn't what Cameron wanted, but he didn't have time to get what he wanted. So now it's just, we'll fix it in post. We'll let the CG guys fix it. We'll do this and we won't worry about it. This is why they go back 3 or 4 times to do reshoots, because they can't do that. This is why movies end up halftime nonsensical, because they're just like, oh, we'll fix it later. Instead of having all of their bases covered and measure twice, cut once, they're up their own ass the opposite way. So
And
you can go back to this and look at those little guys in that car. That's like an Andy Masterson special. Some guy went in and made all that stuff and made it functional and made it work. They don't have to do that today. They just have to be lazy and go, CG guy, fix it for me. And they do. And until that stops, it's letting go of the visual effects crews, the guys who made this stuff possible. Yeah, it was a giant pain in the ass and sometimes it didn't work, but CG has killed creativity because you can go, we'll just fix it later. End of rant.
Well, I think that this is what Christopher Nolan has made such a case for, right? Because he's filming some of these ridiculous scenes because he can. Like, I know it's expensive to rip an airplane in half for a Batman movie. And I know that, it's expensive for us to, set off an atom bomb level type explosion to get the imagery right. But we need to do that because we can. I'm reading David Mamet's book. It's from 2007. It's called Bambi versus Godzilla. And he's talking about this 2007. He's talking about the death of all of the specialty departments and how they're below the line and no one cares about them. They're basically just the plebes of Hollywood creation. But he's giving you examples of how, Monday is their off day, but the prop master is driving around town in like an hour radius because he's got to find a certain type of harmonica because that would be the appropriate dated harmonica for that era in that film. Or the person that had to drive 2 hours to this thrift store because they found the right type jacket that goes in this particular scene. These are the people that made these movies great that we're still talking about. And instead, in Hollywood, what we get is a bunch of narcissistic egomaniacs who don't think that any of this is worth their time. And the people that do all of that are beneath them. And it's exactly what's fueling what Loki you just ranted about. It's just this hollow, empty, generic computer. And this is why you'll find movies that when you see it, you can't unsee it. Well, there'll be an explosion that'll happen and no one gets any debris on their face because they didn't shoot it. They shot it in a green. They didn't pick the shot up, and no one fixed it and just don't care.
And it's only going to get worse with the advent of the AI technology. Like the amount of people that are going to be, a lot of those below the lines guys that are going to get sort of forced out of the industry just by the advent of technology, where people can just kind of good enough.
Yeah. That's why they're really good. That's why they're really good movies. Movies like Godzilla -1 have a fusion. There is a fusion of real special effects, puppetry, mechanical, whatever it is, that's infused with CGI, so that you have that basis. You don't have to create something out of nothing. It's already there. You just have to enhance what's there. Those are the best uses of CGI, is to enhance what's already there. It should be the icing on the cake, not the cake itself.
We should do a show. Maybe we'll do this in October, because we've already talked about some of these movies, but maybe we'll do something on just practical effects. I think in horror especially, they had to think outside the box so much. Like The Thing, right? You had to get a double amputee to have the alien, bite off some guy's arms, or, you had to have Rick Baker, who had to build basically like robot werewolf heads that would change shape and evolve to simulate a guy transforming into a werewolf. So these type of things, to highlight some of those examples, and maybe we can come up with links to videos or interviews where people can go to, and we could just kind of like time capsule some sort of video that and conversation that can point people in those things for someone to find later on. Because it's just, because even Lucas, even talking about New Hope, the idea that his movie, he thinks his movie's done, he comes back to California and they've got nothing for the trench scene because they don't remotely understand what he wanted done to cannibalize all these model kits and things like that to build a Death Star trench. They had no idea what was going on, and they have these camera drive-by explosions and things like to emulate the battle of the Death Star. And it's just, when you watch those sequel movies, it's just not the same. There's just nothing there that feels tangible, and we all feel it. We just, only some of us know how to articulate it. So yeah, great stuff. Let's see here. Anyway, all right. I know Ironcaster's got to head out, and things like that. I want to say thanks again for picking this movie. I didn't hate it as much as I might have come across. I appreciate you making me laugh, brother. And you have a good week, my friend. We'll talk about some of the stuff that you got coming up.
Thank you. Yep. So you guys take care. I gotta get going. I'll see you guys all later.
All right, take care.
Talk hard.
Take care, brother.
Bye.
Yeah, I don't know if he's going to be on with T-shirt later tonight, but make sure you check that out if you can. Have that earmark just in case. But yeah, check over the Ironcaster channel, man. His Monday Mech stuff. He's got comic book stuff going on with Nick, and obviously the Saturday show. Twig is always a lot of fun. So tons of good stuff. So yeah, you know what? And if nothing else, we came away having another good time, man. Hanging out, having some laughs. We made SQUEEKA laugh. Loki, if we can make SQUEEKA laugh, the world's a better place.
All the time, though.
I have to admit, I would love to see a video reaction of even just a few of the scenes of this to see Eris's face. Yeah. Just a few of the scenes. Like, look, wow, baby, look at this Lovitz scene with Teri Garr and this kiss, if you want to call it that. Oh, dear Lord.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Yeah. The movie's messed up, so. Yeah, Chris has got the link there. Make sure you guys are subscribed to Ironcaster. He is rolling along, doing a lot more content, and he's got a lot to offer. And folks, we barely scratched the surface of where we're going with things like that. So, SQUEEKA, are you going to be on with anybody or do anything this week with anything coming up?
I don't know yet. It
All
just
right.
kind of depends on the work schedule. It's getting towards the end of the school year, so things are getting kind of crazy busy, and I don't know.
Well, hopefully she will be back with us next week with Transformers 1986. We'll be talking about that great movie. Mike Pacific 414 will also be with us, so it'll be a great time to talk about a movie that kind of traumatized me, man. I did not have the greatest. I did not have the greatest of theatrical experiences. I was like, "What in the name of holy? The movies? That's it? What? I literally just sat there the whole like, what is happening? Like, I don't." It was almost Wrath of Khan traumatizing, Loki. I was
Half the kids left. I'm not kidding. As the parents are escorting their kids out, my dad's like, "Do you want to go?" I'm like, I want to see what happens. And it was just one of those, I wanted to know. That's the reason why I stayed. I couldn't believe they killed Optimus Prime. How do you kill Optimus Prime? And they did.
Yeah,
the do not grieve. They went full into, we're killing off your leader, your hero, and you're never going to see it coming. And we're going to replace him with this other guy that isn't nearly as cool. And he wasn't nearly as cool because they had to go back and get Optimus to come back. But, it's one of those, it wasn't supposed to go that way. Starscream wasn't supposed to die. Optimus Prime wasn't going to die. Megatron wasn't going to die. There was all this stuff that wasn't going to happen, that they, about halfway into gearing up for production, they changed a whole bunch of stuff. And then in the middle of doing the art for the movie, they changed stuff again. Yeah. So there's all kinds of rabbit holes to go down to with this movie of what could have happened and what did happen. But that theater emptying out and the kids crying and just shattered kids' minds is what it did.
Yeah. I'm older and it was still pretty rough. I can't imagine being like a 9-year-old or something. That would have just been devastating. All right. So anyway, more on that next week. I know other folks have done great shows on this as well. So we will just kind of have our own version of a conversation about it. We'll see where things go. Loki tomorrow, YouTube talk. Cool. Always look forward to it.
Pops is fishing to find out what the topic's going to be.
No, it's okay. I'm okay. You know,
probably something along the lines of all good things.
Okay. All right. Sounds good.
Come to those who watch this movie. Is that what the end of that line is?
All good things come to those who have survived Mom and Dad Save the World. That's how I feel right now.
Or possibly to an end. You never know. You never know what's going to happen. So
no. Talk hard will go on. We'll be fine. So, it's good. It's good. Anything else you want to talk about real quick? Plug.
Guys, if you want, if you want it to continue, please come by, hang out in the mornings. We love having people over. Pops will be on Thursday. So he's going to come by and hang out and chill, and we're going to talk. And next Wednesday, I've got Brian, Speaker of the Dead, who walked away for a while and then just recently came back. What's that like? So we're going to be talking to him next Wednesday for YouTube Talk.
I can feel that too, man. I can feel sometimes you feel like you just gotta check out for a minute because it can get to you. So I get that, but yeah, I got to make amends. I stood Loki up 2 weeks ago. So if you guys go back when Snowed Up just saved the day, because I was like, I got sick and I didn't tell him, and then by the time I realized it, I was like, oh crap, he's like in the middle of the show, and it's like, oh, freaking cluster. So no, I love hanging out with you, man. It's a schedule thing, and for those of you who want to have me on or whatever, it's like this. It's a giant. It's kind of like what you said earlier, Squeak. It's like your job and day job responsibilities. There's like this moving target, and it's like, sometimes it's hard to fully escape that for this sort of like side venture, side project type thing. It can be challenging, and I just enjoy doing it. I just enjoy hanging out. So today was a good catch up day for me. I was able to get my conversation with Ginger Ninja out there. Well, it's going to be a comic talk turned into just a talk. We just hung out and he talked about his take on Dune 2 and Shogun and some things that I hadn't done any videos on. So that was really turned into a great thing. I'm going to do a little video about Wednesday on physical media, because anything we could do to promote physical media, let people know that, I think to me is important. So a little bit of that, got a good Watch Your Story coming, a couple of those banked up. So yeah, Pops is I'm doing my thing. Just may not be quite as many cylinders as they had going a few months ago, but you know what? That's okay. It's just, it is what it is, and have a good time doing it. Good time hanging out with good people. So yeah, so Transformers next week, Ghostbusters the week after. We'll talk a little bit about Frozen Empire, I'm sure, but it's the 40th anniversary of the GOAT. Ghostbusters 84. I just watched it again. I don't know about you, Loki. I just feel like it just gets better and better. You know what I mean? I don't feel like it ever. I only think of it in better terms. 40 years later or whatever it's been. It's crazy.
Yeah. I love the movie. My kids love the movie. I was just talking to my oldest the other day about that movie, and we get anniversaries every once in a while. I've got every single metal case, metal DVD case they've come out with each anniversary. I've got the DVD, I got the Blu-ray, I've got the 4K. Every anniversary set they come out with for this movie, I buy it. I make sure I get the steelbook for it. So
very cool. Yeah, I got some catching up to do my Ghostbusters stuff. I missed out on an opportunity to get the real Ghostbusters box set with it's in a firehouse, so it's a super cool one. I had a chance to get one, and I didn't pull the trigger fast enough and missed out on that. But yeah, we'll be doing that in a couple weeks. Troy Pacelli will be with us. Probably Squeeka Mouse too. She'll just be a regular to the show by then. We'll have her kind of locked in contract details. She's already got Kung Fu Hustle on the schedule. She's got Jaws on the schedule in July. So we're just really just putting her in the show, and she just says not really kind of so.
She hasn't said no yet.
And she just keeps showing up, and
I'll do my best. Is that a no? Is that a yes? I don't know which one that is. I'll do my best.
That is, we'll see you on Tuesday is what that is. So, but yeah, folks, I saw some of those comments. Obviously, a lot of love for Bubba Hotep. We'll figure. I have a lot of stuff on the slate, so we'll figure out how to fit those in. And the other one I think was Sky Captain, which I've not watched since it came out as well. So that's an OG reference one too. So that one, again, I like to try to line these up with the anniversaries and things like that too, because it gives you like an extra excuse to watch them again or something like that. So we'll see. Those are all good choices, good options. So we'll see. I still got 5 more minutes to burn, guys. What else should we plug or talk about? Anything on your mind?
I was just going to add to the Loki conversation. I'm sorry that I can't miss them because I have to work in the mornings. But when I get to catch them live, and I catch the replay, y'all do go listen to them. They're really hard hitting. They get you right in the feels sometimes, but they're funny too. Sometimes it's just I laugh, but they're really great. Y'all should go listen to them.
I agree.
Thank you, guys.
I agree. So, all right. Well, the room's finally coming together. Things are finally
Nice.
Sorted. It's finally
Good.
yeah, mama's helped some, so we were able to make some cleanup and stuff. So I've got the clutter of chaos in a couple spots that you guys can't see too much. We could definitely moved a couple things down off the wall and around. So the autographed Harrison Ford thing is there, so that got moved over. So that needs to move, and the Disney stuff needs to move because I don't necessarily want to look at it like I was. So yeah, that needs to move. So we'll see. Been collecting all the Star Wars stuff for Star Wars Day in May. Now with the schedule changed, Loki, we could probably do another Star Wars Day marathon. So we'll have to put something together for that as well, because we enjoyed doing that last year. That was kind of fun. Honor the real Star Wars Day and the stuff that means a lot to us. So yeah, so that's been that's what I've been hammering out the last couple of days, is trying to deal with some of that overwhelming of 2 or 3 offices coming into just one. It's been wild. So yeah,
I don't think I'll ever finish mine. I'm never gonna finish mine. It's just like it totally got away from me, and now I don't think I'll have enough time to finish it. So
yeah, I just keep plugging away. My grandson helped me a little bit too. He was kind of like, "You got a lot of comic books, Pops." I'm like, "Yep." I don't know what to tell you, buddy. I'm probably down to, a few thousand. It's not like it was. He'd never seen a long box, so I said he was talking about how they're not that heavy. You can move them around, and they were short boxes, and he was like, he couldn't lift those. I'm like, yeah, dude, they're I did. You see a long box, it'll completely destroy your chiropractic bills. You start moving long boxes around. I can't do those anymore. I'm too old for that nonsense. So, but yeah, another great week. Appreciate you being here, SQUEEKA. Always love having you, and we will definitely, hopefully, see you next week for Transformers conversation. That'd be great. So
I really appreciate y'all having me on. Thank you so much. I really, really mean it. Thank y'all.
Thank you, SQUEEKA.
I will upload my submission for Kai June from last year. What is your submission? I don't remember you telling us what you wanted us to do. I think we have a list of things to do for Kai June. So I need to make sure that if we can include it, DJ Ronnie G, we'll at least consider it for sure. We definitely have 3 or 4.
Did we do Pacific Rim?
I think it's on the list of things to consider. I think we have
not the second one, but the first one.
I think we're going to pick. I think the leader among the Godzilla category was Shin Godzilla. We're going to give Shin Godzilla some love.
Have you ever seen Shin Godzilla?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I didn't own a copy when we talked about it. I have a copy now. So I think Shin Godzilla was our pick for the Godzilla category. I think Ironcaster's pick from the other stuff was, I think, one of the Ultramans or something. I don't know. Don't want to speak out of turn. And then we had the other 2 slots. And I think that's, I don't know exactly what they were. Pacific Rim would have been in that list of possibilities. So for sure. So DJ Ronnie G, not an actual submission. Well, yeah, we're okay. He recorded a review for Godzilla. Oh, well, yeah, we need to get you. You got to celebrate Kaijun, folks. You got to make these things. I don't want to say traditions, but I think we can kind of like plant our flag and things that we can kind of celebrate and enjoy, and transform YouTube's content into these kind of things. Like everyone else creates these like faux holidays and whatever. We can do our own. We just do our own things. So, and DBR in the house. Hey man, you're doing all right, brother. So yeah. Anyway.
I mean, it's been ages for me, but I confess the Mothra movies are my favorite.
Mothra? Yeah. Yeah, my kids loved Mothra growing up, man. They were so into Godzilla, it was nuts. And it didn't matter if it was Iguanazilla or not. They were all about any of that kind of stuff. So yeah, we had the OG and all the way up to that point. So yeah, they love Mothra as well. So with that, folks, you guys talk hard. Be blessed. Until next time, I am Pops. This is Talk Hard. Have a good one. And let's we'll do a couple little clips on our way out the door.
So one day Jowl shows up and is all like, and this one girl's like, and then everyone else is like, so then this pirate dude named Squint's all like,
I'll catch the shark.
But the mayor's like, oh, and then there's this one really cool.
Hey, how you doing?